I started a watch party, so you can share either this link or the watch party, so that way people on your platform can see you.
Okay.
Okay. So I see
so
that.
So do we go? So do we go on our Facebook or something like that and share it?
Go to my Facebook, and then just copy paste it, or you can just click start a watch party. However you prefer to do it. Yeah. Okay. Now let me make sure that we are live, but there's because I don't know who's there yet. Let's see. Video. Well, I see me live, but I don't see it showing here yet. So let me try something else. Hold on. Well, my screen decided to want to freeze up a bit, so I'm not sure what we got going on just yet. All right. So, but can you see me or see us?
I see you. I see both of you.
Okay, so you can see us.
Okay.
All righty. Well, then maybe I'm missing something here. Hold on.
I think it's working.
There we go. I see it. All right. So I'm gonna keep it. So just keep it muted so that way it does not interfere. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. And Eric, let's go ahead and start with you. And that is to just introduce yourself and tell a little bit about your background, what your experience is, and then we'll go right on to Kimberly.
All right. How's it going? My name's Eric Clausen. I go by EC. There's a lot of Erics out there, but there's only one EC, and that's me. Hey, how you doing? I have done a lot of commercial work over the years. I've done a lot of film work as well. Lots of short films and feature films. Actually, one of my features, a 2-hour feature, The Eccentric World of Baron Styles, has been accepted to a film festival in Spain, which is I was the lead in that, Baron Styles. It's a fun film. You guys need to watch that. My suggestion to you is just get on as much stuff as you can and get the experience. Look at everything going on around you. Introduce yourself. Network. Pay attention. Have that positive attitude and help people out, because I love helping people out. There's always the new guy. And what you give, you get back. A millionfold.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And Ms. Kimberly, you want to go ahead and start with you?
Hello, my name is Kimberly Newsome, and I'm an actress, and I've been in TV series, which one of them is Tony's. Gavin Hook. And I've also done some true crime television, as well as a couple of feature films, short films. And I'm actually working on some projects right now. So even though we're going through this pandemic, it's an opportunity to network. It's an opportunity to work on yourself, to work on some things that you may not be great at. I know with me, I'm working on dialect, because it's always good to pick up a dialect. Who knows, they may be looking for that. So those are some of the things that are going on. Those are some of the things that I think we should work on during these times. Take a class in self-tape, because there are a lot of self-tape auditions going on right now. So it could be something that you're actually doing wrong to where you're not getting certain roles. So it's always good to educate yourself, because you're never too old to learn something new. And like I said, you can always do better. There's always room for growth.
Always. That's beautiful. Well, we got Genesis that is about to come in with us as well. So while she's getting her camera ready, she even came in with her.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
What's up, baby?
She is on
What's going
COVID-19
on?
for sure.
Right?
Feeling like,
Girl, I need that mask, girl.
can y'all hear me?
Yes, you need to get me one of them.
Yeah, for
Can you
sure.
hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
What you need? I'll send it to you. Send me your info. I'll
baby,
send it to you.
I'll send it.
What's going on, y'all? What I
What's
miss?
going on? How you doing?
how you doing?
I'm okay.
Basically, what we're doing is we're just
Y'all see me cheesing through my mask.
we see you cheesing through your mask. So basically, Genesis, what we were doing.
Y'all see my big cheeks?
Hey, your eyes
I'm
tell the
trying
whole
to look
story,
kind of
man.
crooked, y'all. Okay, now we in business. Okay.
Are you at work?
Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah,
Are you
I'm ready.
at
Okay, so what I miss?
work?
We're just introducing ourselves.
I'm sneaking. I'm ducking off. Yes.
Go ahead and
Y'all heard me?
look, girl. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell a little bit about who you are, some of your background. As I know, I've worked with you, so
Okay.
you've done a lot of work with me, but you've also done a lot of stuff in the industry, growing
Mhm.
up in the industry. So just share a little bit about yourself first.
Okay. I'm Genesis Omega. Yeah, I do everything. Where Kim go? Where she go? We lost Kim. Where she at? Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
All right. So I'm an actress. I'm a recording artist, writer, singer, rapper, celebrity hairstylist. I've done TV. I work with the fabulous Miss Tone from the silver screen behind the scenes as well as in front. And I'm living my best life in this coronavirus.
All that matters, baby.
That's me. I'm simple. Mhm.
All right. And I'm just Tone Brown. I'm the host of this COVID-19 chat talk. I thought I'd take advantage of the time being freed up at home to gather up some actors, crew members, filmmakers, and then our next project, next Sunday, we're going to be talking with a casting director and agent, so you can get an idea what's the difference between having a casting agent, a casting director, and then just basically when to know when to get one, if you need one, and all that kind of stuff. So be sure to tune in next Sunday as well. But right now, we're just trying to talk to actors to just kind of get their perspective of the industry. And I wanted to do this because we've already talked about the filmmakers, what our expectations are, what we want to see take place, trying to give you a little insight behind the scenes. So if you get a chance, go back and watch, go to my photo album, pull up the old videos, so that way you can have a chance to go back and watch some of those. And then I've also loaded them up to YouTube. So if Facebook's not working for you, you can go and watch them on YouTube. But basically, what we're going to do today, guys, is we're going to talk about the actor's perspective. You know, what's it like for you? First, starting off, the first thing we want to start with the basics. What made you decide acting was the bug for you? And we'll start up there with Eric and then work our way around.
Oh, middle school. I took a theater class in middle school. Mr. Tim, Rocky Run Middle School in Virginia. I fell in love with it. I was like, man, this is.
Did I lose you?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. It just went kind of quiet, so I couldn't hear you. You went quiet on me. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, again, yeah. It was in middle school. Rocky Run Middle School. Mr. Tim's theater class. I took a theater class and I was like, whoa, I love this. So my destiny flashed before my eyes in middle school.
That's awesome. What? Okay, is that it for you?
Say again?
I said, was there any more that you wanted to say? Was that it for
Who's
you?
that, Kim?
I mean, that's really where the spark. I've done other things, and then it always pulls me back.
Okay, all righty. Then Genesis, let's go for you.
I got the acting bug when I was born. No, when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, I went to a friend's birthday party, and they had a camera there. So I was like, "Oh my God, that's a camera!" And I took made a microphone, and I jumped in front of the camera, and I was just like, "This is what I'm supposed to be doing, some type of way." And God made a way. You know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. God made that way.
Kim. Kimberly.
I did not know that at a young age I was actually planted. Well, that seed was planted in my heart because I at a young age I wanted to be an entertainer. So I was singing in the choirs, I was in talent shows, I was in pageants and things like that. So as I went on in life, I was in the Army choir. When I went into the Army, met my husband, had a whole bunch of kids, and so my husband was military. I was out of the military. I had to take care of those kids, and but when I was in Hawaii, I was a member of this church, and this was many years later, and they had a drama ministry, and they had this huge play. I didn't realize how huge it was, and they had auditions, and I was like, well, yeah. I was like, I can audition. I can do 4 lines. Just give me that part that has, the 4 lines, So I went in there and I did well on my audition, and they were like, well, Kim, we want you to, that was great, but we want you to read this part. And I was like, okay. And they were like, well, Kim, there's singing involved in this. So we want you to be the lead. And I was like, there is no way I can be the lead. I have 3 little ones. I have a job. I go to school. My husband's in the military. Somebody can raise these kids. But I accepted the challenge. I did well. It was amazing. And so, it's not all in our timing a lot of times. It's in God's timing a lot of times. So that just went ahead and nurtured that seed that was already in my heart. And then maybe 10 years later, 10, 15 years later, because I did not want to pursue my dream of acting at that time because I had small children. I did not want to neglect them. But many years later, I came back in contact with a friend of mine who was an actor, and he started mentoring me. He's an actor on a future Netflix show series, and he was like, I can give you, the information that you need, and I can mentor you. And I accepted, his education, him educating me on what I needed to know. And being that my last child, my youngest, was getting ready to graduate high school, I was like, I'm going for it. And so things have been working out. Started going to Nick Conti's professional acting studio here in Atlanta, and started doing some background work. That's always a good start. School and background work. That's a great start. And then eventually started networking, and eventually started doing film and theater. So that's where I came from. That's how I got into acting, and I absolutely love it. Here pretty soon, I'm getting ready to quit my 9-to-5. It's coming, and I'm gonna be full force in this thing. And I'm almost 50, and I'm pursuing my dream. And I'm
congratulations!
Like, you look good, baby.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Wow. Congratulations on that, Miss Kimberly.
Awesome.
I'm excited to hear about that. Cause you know I call you.
Yes, I got some stories for you, Miss Tony.
I'm a 24-hour filmer. I film anytime.
Let's go.
Okay.
I know that's right.
Let's go in just a little bit more. Let's go in just a little bit more. And the question I wanted to ask now is, now that you've gotten the bug, what was some of the challenges for you getting started, knowing what to do and how to get some connections to get you for audition or to just get cast? What was some of the steps you took, and what was the emotion for you just trying to chase this journey of a dream? We'll start down about you, Kim, so we'll just work our way around this time. Kim, can you hear me?
I'm not here. I'm getting like a little breakup.
I
was getting a little breakup.
Okay.
But I can hear you now, though.
Okay, go to your Facebook page and put.
I think I'm getting a delay.
Right, because you got to mute the other. You have to mute the one on Facebook because it'll cause interference.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got to mute the one on Facebook because it'll cause interference. It can stay up. It's just that it causes an echo because when you start talking, it's trying to talk there at the same time. Okay, well, Genesis, while she's working on that, you want to go ahead and answer that question for me? Can you hear me okay?
Okay, as far as like when I started, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
It would be easier if you didn't have to ask.
Okay. Let me do the unveiling so you guys can you hear me now? Okay. So like when I started, I think with me, I did a lot of play. When I started, I was very young, and like I said, I knew I wanted to do, but I got like selected, handpicked people like, you come here, come do this. And it just, it became a habit and something. They had a specific role or whatever. I was blessed where people would write a role for me because my character, my natural character is very extravagant, if you will. So a lot of people like, let me see where I can put you. I just want to see you do something. And as I got older, then I started doing, a lot of auditioning. Me and my cousin, we acted. And we wanted to pursue the career. So we did the LA thing, signed up for, a lot of programs, AFTRA, SAG, all that, just trying to get involved on a professional level. But I can honestly say I've been blessed just because of my personality and who I've been around. And it's always been doors opening for me. God has been awesome to me. You know what I mean?
Yes. I hear somebody's phone. I hear somebody's phone just the ding. So if you can go ahead and mute that for us, so we don't get the ding, because that's a big sound.
Mute the phone. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Eric, you ready?
How do you? Okay. I think that might be me.
It's
you just gotta get up and do everything. Fall on your face. Get back up again. Try new things. You gotta keep trying. A lot of us, it's very terrifying at first, auditioning. And then once you realize there's nothing to be afraid of and you're just having fun in there, when you let go of all that fear and you just be whoever you need to be in that situation, you let go. It's like a weight is lifted off your back and then the doors open up everywhere. Because the fear is gone and you're just having fun. When you're having fun, man, anything's possible.
Okay. All righty. So what has been the biggest challenge that you've had to endure just being able to get into that role that you that you've gotten from your audition? And then what was it like for you dealing with competition with other actors? Was it intimidating for you? Did it make you feel fearful? What was it like for you being in a competition to audition for a role and really just having that, I want this role, I want this role? Go ahead, whoever wants to start.
The only competition is looking back
Well,
at you.
I can go.
Oh, Eric had already started. Go ahead, Eric.
Echo.
The only competition you ever have is staring back at you in the mirror. You have to continue to work on yourself, become a better version of yourself every single day, improving with each step of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Falling down is part of it. You're gonna fall down. You're not gonna get it. I make friends with everyone. I want to help. I want everyone to succeed because there's plenty of room at the top.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
there is. All right, Kim, you want to go ahead?
Oh, girl, come on! I'm gonna help you get there. We're gonna help each other get better each day.
Yes, sir. Kim,
Great. I love your spirit.
Well, I would like to say
Kim?
that yes, sweetheart. I would like to say that my biggest problem when I started is because I did not have confidence. I did not have the confidence in myself. I had this director was talking to me, and he was like, "So Kim, tell me, who is your favorite actress?" So I started naming off these famous. He was like, "No, who is your favorite actress?" He asked me like 5, 6 times. I was like, "I just told you." He said, "No, you should be your favorite actress."
all right.
He said, "When you walk into a room, you should be walking in there like, I am actress Kimberly Newsom. Nothing. Look, I am the best actress in here. Okay, not to have the big head or to have some type of negative spirit. No, but you have to instill confidence in yourself to say, hey, these people aren't better than me. Yeah, they may have been doing this longer than me, you know, but hey, you got to have that in your spirit. So now when I walk in the room, I walk in there with a confidence like, hey, I belong here. Okay, I put in the work, I put in the time, I belong here. Okay. So yeah, somebody else may get the role, but we know as actors, we may get 99 no's, but we may get that one yes.
100%.
That means the most important thing in the world. Yeah. So my biggest, I would say that the thing that challenged me the most was I had to build my own confidence. I cannot, you know, build my confidence based on other people, what they believe or what they think about me. If I know that I put in the work, and I know that I put in the time and I pray about it, I know that I'm going to get those things that I asked for. So.
All right, now. I ain't mad at you for that one.
No simply means next opportunity.
That's right. That's right. Genesis, I want to share that part of that question. Can you hear?
Okay. This is what I had to learn. Okay. I had so much confidence when I was younger to the point where people mistook it as arrogance. And now that I am an adult and I'm older, I'm able to get out and know how to maneuver. I can put it that way because I'm like Eric. There's nobody that what I do that can do what you do. A lot of people try to audition for roles that's not suiting them and they get disappointed because the role is not for you. That's just like I consider myself a character actor. The role that I'm supposed to play, that's the role I'm playing. And 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be requested to play that role. That's being a character actor versus I want to compete with Halle Berry. Well, I'm 5'11" with heels on 6'4". I'm thicker than a Snicker, like a brick house. So me and Halle Berry will never play the same role. You get what I'm saying? Now, I have to be realistic on what roles are for me. Well, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to be playing in gladiator room movies like Xena, police officers, warriors. Like, I'm not going to play the little mousy nerd unless it's a comedy. You know what I'm saying? So once you get realistic with the roles that are written for you, then you'll be like, okay, I don't have any competition. I'm going to knock this out the park. And if you don't get selected, it's always a reason that the Most High didn't select you for that particular role. And he always has something better for you. And you have to be held accountable for being prepared and doing what you need to do when it comes to auditions, because a lot of people will blame everybody else but themselves, especially when it comes to certain auditions when you know you should have nailed it. That's being on time. That's showing up at the right place at the right time. That's having your portfolio or your website. All those things are, that means something. And if you're not prepared, it's on you. And if you don't know, Mary J. Blige said this, the only question asked is the question unasked. No question is stupid. You have to ask questions to know exactly what you're supposed to do. From being with SAG, Screen Actors Guild. A lot of actors don't know that, and they think they're Hollywood doing all these things. And it's like, yo, you're not even with SAG. So what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? So It's like, once you get to that level, then you can say certain things. Other than that, you have to be wise and like, even with, I'm like Niecy Nash. I love Niecy Nash. She's incredible. I'm like this. If it's a role and I know Kim's supposed to be playing that role, I'm calling Kim. Kimberly, what are you doing? It's a role open for you. Girl, get down here now, or I'll tell the director, listen up. This girl, I'm telling you, she'll be perfect for the role. The problem is we have to be accountable and do that instead of being selfish and letting that role go to waste, or allowing that, someone else that's not supposed to play the role. We have to accept accountability as actors and stick together when it comes to that, so everybody can benefit, especially your circle and the people who supported you and who want you to succeed and be successful.
Ooh, teamwork makes the dream work.
I know that was a lot, y'all.
No, that was great.
All day long. Yes, Eric. Yes.
I love it.
Okay. Well, let's take that. I want to ping pong from that, Ms. Genesis, because I want you to talk about the actor's perspective as far as alliance. Making a determination, who do you align yourself with? Whether you've chosen to align yourself with other actors, filmmakers, in relation to being in tune with each other, being in the same spirit of each other, or how do you decide what filmmaker you're okay to work with and not to work with, and then your communication within the community of actors, passing on information or what information not to pass on, and then I have a question after that. Go jump in. Let's get this thing going. Let's spread the juice.
Okay. Okay. So when you're building an alliance, rule number one, don't poop where you eat. So that means, like, when you're like dating and all that, you have to be mindful. We're doing this movie together. We're making millions of dollars on this movie. And if this relationship don't work out, I have to see you every day. That's important. And also, I go by spirit and energy. If your energy is like on fleek, like when me and Kimberly met, when I say I just gave her a big hug and I was like, I want to work with her the rest of my life. Like, that's how I take it, like, oh my gosh, she's awesome. Like, even with you, Miss Tone, I was just like, she's not going nowhere. You already know with the energy of the person. But it's some people that I've worked with where this will be the last project I'll ever work on with them, because if the energy wasn't right, they weren't vibing right, I can't rock with it, and I'm pretty sure we've all experienced that, Ms. Brown, with you as a director and a writer, with the cast, as well as us with directors and whatnot. We have to be realistic on what works for us. That's what makes a great body of work. And I'm going to use Spike Lee as an example. He has his cluster of actors and whatnot that he works with all the time. And like, it works. The synergy works. You automatically know. You, at the end of the day, your role, and don't be afraid to work on both sides of the camera for whatever's needed for the job, because you never know. Denzel Washington, he started directing later in life. A few others, Angela Bassett started directing. You never know. So it's great to watch both aspects. Quentin Tarantino jumps in front of the camera every now and again. Miss Toni Brown, I know she's probably gonna bump in a scene every now and again. If she, chooses to, she'll write herself in just to duck in. So it's about the energy for me. If it's not right, I can't rock with it. I'm one of those people. I can't fake it. You know what I mean?
That would be a no for Toni.
Toni, you can put yourself in as a cameo. You might be standing on the corner or something, but you're in there. Cameo.
That's a no for Toni. When I went through my training session, I did the camera before in front of the camera thing. I actually did pretty good, but it was a lesson learned. I like being behind the camera. Who wants to take that on next?
I'll go. I'm always paying attention to who I'm working with. Do they know their lines? Do they show up early? Are they willing to help out? Are we vibing together? Again, energy is everything. You can feel it. You don't need to say anything. I can feel it. And I have little clips. We always work together because we know we're gonna go 110%. We're gonna give our all. If we gotta be there 17 hours, we don't care because we are having fun. We're having the time of our lives, and we're making a masterpiece. And that's what this is about: creating masterpieces. And when you find that clique that you work well with, yes, work with them all the time because you're going to have masterpiece after masterpiece after masterpiece. We know what we're capable of. We're letting each other grow, learn, improve, and step it up each time.
That is true.
Wow, you guys created this, and then you created that. What's next? You guys are amazing. So I pay attention, and we have our cliques, and we're always going to work together.
Right.
We know what we're capable of, and we're going to keep pushing ourselves even higher.
Right. Kimberly?
Well, I'm with everybody else when it says that positive energy. When it comes to positive energy, even, us as actors, yes, we're looking for that positive energy, but the directors, the producers, they're looking for that positive energy as well. I've been on several sets where I've had a couple of directors say, hey, I love your energy. I love your positive energy.
Yeah.
You're someone that I want to keep, in my circle. And that means a lot, and a lot of things that we learn on set, we learn what to do and we learn what not to do. So, and also in meeting people and networking, and you get those good vibes, that good energy. Those are people that you can almost depend on anytime. In my circle and people that I network with, like Genesis was saying, hey girl, I know this role would be great for you. Even when I see things for males or this, that, anybody, if I see it out, I'm like, oh, this would be great for this person. I'll just go ahead and send it out, and that right there means a lot to us actors, and we end up supporting each other more, and we become a family. And we may not see each other for 2 years, but we might end up on set somewhere together and be like, oh, that's just so nice, But it really does say a lot about a person that comes in prepared, that has a great attitude, that's willing to help, that's just dependable, and that just says a lot about a person. And those are the type of people I like to work with. If they're having a bad day, then that's taking away energy from everybody else. So, if I have to try to boost them up a little bit, let's just try to do that,
That's great. Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on that? Okay. Well, let me extend that a little bit further. The question for me, this is on a personal level as well, as far as what I know actors deal with a lot. How do you deal with, and what's your thoughts on when you've worked with an actor, met them, and they're great on set, but they totally change and flip the script, being and no longer positive, no longer bringing the right energy, and now sometimes during the project, sometimes after the project, something has happened on their behalf, on their side of it, where now they're negative. They no longer believe in the project. They no longer believe in the filmmaker director, and now they're trying to feed you negativity to bring forth the negativity towards the project itself, the filmmaker, and then put I like to call it chaos, but put out negativity out there to maybe cause you to question, do you want to work with that filmmaker again? Or did that filmmaker really do right by you? How do you handle those situations? And if you have, given an example of how you dealt with it. Jump in.
I've had that situation happen, but you know, I can't say that I don't have people that I just really don't like, but I mean, but as far as in the film industry, I haven't had a whole lot of bad experiences. But if the situation did happen, I would try to, depending on what my relationship was with that person, or my relationship was with the writer, director, producer, or whatever, I would not want to be in the middle of that. I would want to keep my relationship with that writer, director, and with that person, as if that was somebody that I network with, because I wouldn't want to break the ties, you know. So I would try to stay out of the chaos. I would try to say, hey, understand you don't believe in what we have going on here, but I'm going to continue on because I'm in charge of my happiness. I'm in charge of my career, you know, so this is what I'm going to do. And you have to respect somebody when they tell you, hey, I understand how you feel, but this is how I feel, and I'm going to go this direction, even if you decide to go that direction. So I don't like to get into mess or chaos or any of that, or cause any issues. So if I believe in a project, then that's all that matters. I'm going to stay with the project, no matter if that other person does.
Okay, Eric.
I've never really had an experience like that. Unfortunate. Maybe it will happen down the road, but I understand that even if it did happen, it would probably be deeper than what was actually happening for that person. And I might try and pull them aside and be like, hey man, what's really going on? And like dig deep down and see if I can help them out a little bit to change their perception. You know, and if I can't, then you know, some people you just need to leave alone and you know, let them go their own way and be like, hey, it didn't work out with them. That's life. Some people you just gotta cut the string and let them go. If they're not adding value to you, if they're trying to bring you down, you know, cut that anchor and let it sink to the bottom of the ocean, and we'll go sailing on our way.
Gotcha. Okay, Miss Genesis, you got some thought on that?
Y'all ready for me? Y'all ready for me?
Oh yeah.
This is the first thing. Communication is number one. Communication. You can get so many mixed signals through not communicating, where you'll think one person is thinking another thing and they thinking about something that happened at home. And you think, well, they acting funny. No, they just called and they aunt died and you don't know what's going on. And years later, you be like, you was acting funny. It's like, yo, my aunt just died. I didn't like, I wasn't talking to nobody, you know, and it's like, oh, I thought you was mad at me. You know what I'm saying? It's like communication is number one. Number two, there's a thing called mental illness. Now, and I'm gonna speak on this with actors and actresses. I got a bone to pick with us. A lot of us suffer from bipolar, schizophrenia, mental illness, and we're playing several different roles, and we're just the host on this physical realm. And when the character is on, you're the character. When the character is off, it's off. So the thing about it, people take it personal, but it's really not personal. It's literally either psychological or, you know, some other stuff going on. What we have to do, if we really care about the person or we got a liking to the person, we get to the root of the problem versus saying, okay, I don't want to work with that person no more. You don't know what was going on. you know, and when you find out, it'll make you more empathetic to let me watch my approach on how I come to people, because maybe it was me, or maybe I didn't see it, but that comes with actors and actors etiquette, which is not taught like it used to be. I grew up in a time where we had to go through training, where you know how you have to know how to interview, you have to know how to speak to people, you have to know how to conduct yourself in business. They don't have that now. You just see somebody, they audition famous, not realizing that they just came for projects and they never had a dime. Now they're a millionaire. What you think they're gonna do? You have to be wise in this business, and a lot of people aren't taught the correct way to do it. When you're taught the correct way to do it, it's easy to maneuver. And if they don't know, and you feel like they got that something where you want to help them out. Like if I'm acting a donkey, a clown, and tell me, pull me to the side, and I be like, girl, I'm on my cycle. I need some Advil. You know, it can be anything like that. But the problem is communication. Number one. When you talk and you find out what's going on, you get a solution. And some actors and actresses, they, like I said, mental illness, and they're either undiagnosed or they're keeping it a secret. And you be like, these people are crazy, but they got mental illness. And it's a lot of actors and actresses who are a little slow off or whatever. But you know, it's like, it's the elephant in the room. They don't look like nothing's wrong with them, and people think they're normal. But if you check their background, it's something wrong. I'm gonna use this actress as an example. I'm gonna try to find a link so I can send it to everyone. It was an actress, and I'm gonna say the name because I'm like this. It's a lot of actresses like myself or whatever who've experienced something, whether it was harassment or people trying to block your blessing or whatever, just because. It was a big actress on ER who blackballed her, and she had suffered from mental illness. And what ended up happening, Hollywood wouldn't hire her, and she ended up what is it called? I'm gonna say basically she committed suicide. But she provoked the police officer to shoot her because she had mental illness. They basically went in her home and saw that something was wrong, and she killed herself. She played on ER. And they said they had a problem with it because she was diagnosed with a mental illness, but nobody checked on her. We have to be held accountable because it's that serious, where like Taraji P. Henson already said mental illness out here and we don't know, and you're judging them and not knowing to get to the solution to help them. We are here to help, bring love, light, and it's honestly really about helping people, you know, and having a solution, just like Miss Tone with her storylines. And, you know, she has something that's going to, I'm also working with April Floyd, you know, her storylines to help people to articulate it and bring it to life and bless y'all like y'all blessing us. That's the whole objective at the end of the day. I know I said a lot, y'all.
But that's the purpose. That's the purpose of this coming together, because, you know, actors need to know there's other actors that deal with the same thing that they're dealing with. Because my hope is one thing, and that is for everybody, human needs to know you're not alone. Somebody's experiencing it, or they've experienced it, or at some point will experience it. But if they're in this industry, no doubt about it, you're going to feel some of all of that, because this industry is tough. And a lot of people don't understand what goes on behind the scenes of the toughness it takes to stay in this industry. And you just have to be able to know yourself a little bit. Yeah. Make it so personal to the point that, you know, and when you got that hyper overactive personality, which many of us have in this industry, it can be misread. And then when you're performing different character roles, those, you know, you have to find how to, I can't think of the word right now, but decompose yourself. Because you know, if you're taking on these roles, you're taking on spirits of personalities of these roles, adding to yourself. And if you don't know how to unwind after a character, that it's kind of like Lee that played the Joker, he didn't know how to come out of the character well, and it stayed with him, and he ended up, you know, going heavily into the drugs that he ended up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so let me just throw this quick tip in there for actors that are watching this.
Yeah.
And that is, you need to get you a journal, index card, a notebook, and keep that with you all the time, and write out your character, your personality, write out so you know who you are, so you can get back to you, but also write out a journal of your characters that you play, so that way you know how to let that character go when you're done. So that way,
meditation is a strong technique that helps me.
Meditation is a fantastic technique, but not most people, especially actors or people in this industry, they're not good at getting still, because they're always grinding for that next project, that next role. So they don't really give them that space. That's during this COVID-19 time. It's really good for everybody. I hear people complaining about it. I have my moments, but it's really good because it's giving everybody
it's a blessing.
Yeah, it's giving everybody an opportunity to rejuvenate. You're sleeping, you're getting your rest. Yeah, you're getting your knowledge in and doing certain things, stay fine-tuned, but you still got to use that time, because once this thing is over with, we're going to have a whole different new normal that we're going to have to experience and adjust to. And we don't even know what that's going to be.
Yeah.
We need to take this time to prepare ourselves, so when we get into it, it's not going to be such a shock culturally for us, or physically or emotionally towards us, because out of this thing that's going on, I can assure you, the ones that can't handle it, there's going to be some more mental issues going to take place, because this has been such a morbid situation for a lot of people, so physically, mentally, and emotionally, because you don't know what their home life has been like. Now they're stuck at home to face that home life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a unique new normal, so we need to make sure that we ourselves are prepared to handle that. Because there was a lot before this. You know it's going to be a lot after. So, anybody else wanted to kind of jump in on that, Eric?
Yeah, that is true.
Adaptability is key, because the world is always going to be changing, and we have to adapt to changing times always. And whatever the world throws at us, if we say what's the blessing in this, our mind will search for the blessing. You want to say what's positive in this? What can be the outcome that, you know, adds value to my life? It's always going to be a blessing in disguise. So if you search for that, you'll find it. Yeah. Sometimes it's hidden so well. And now one day it pops up. You're like, oh, look at that! I knew it. You were there. Oh.
All righty. The next thing I want to go into is work ethics, how to conduct yourself when working with a filmmaker on a film project and around other actors. Give your perspective on what you've learned, and if there's any mistakes you know you've made before you learned it, that maybe prevented you from getting the role, or helped you learn that I won't let that happen again, so that as I get cast on future projects, I'll do better. Anybody can jump in on that if you're ready.
Well, my biggest problem was self-sabotage. My biggest problem was self-sabotage, okay? I would go in there and not be mentally ready. Yeah, I knew the lines. I knew how I wanted to say. I had to audition down, but mentally, I was not ready. So I learned that I have to mentally prepare myself before I do an audition. I learned that there are so many ways to say something or get a point across without having to make so many facial expressions. So you don't have to yell to let somebody know you're serious. You know, certain things like that. But my biggest problem that I had to overcome was self-sabotage. because I would go into an audition, I have it down. I may fumble over a word and boom. For me, it was over. But I have learned that if I fumble over a word, I'm gonna make whatever it is my own, and I'm gonna keep going because they're gonna remember that I just stopped and just forgot about it. But if I'm able to overcome or able to correct something in the midst, and a lot of times they never even know that you missed a word or whatever. They're not they're looking at you. They're looking at how you tell the story. That's what they're looking at. They're looking at your facial expressions. They're looking at everything. So they're not paying attention to the words. There are different ways to say the same thing. So as long as you don't take it all the way out of context. But that was one of my main things was self-sabotage. And now I try to prepare early or in advance, or as much as I can. I prepare as much as I can before I go into an audition, because the best thing is be ready. You got to be prepared. You got to be ready. You can't just go in there and think, oh, I look good, you need to be prepared.
Well, down to that confidence.
Yeah.
100%. You walk in there confident, you're a different person. You're wearing a different mask.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely.
This affirmation. This is my room. I own this room, and they're gonna leave here with an experience today.
Yep. I am this person.
Yeah.
I'm letting you all know I'm the person that you're looking for.
Gotcha. Anybody else want to kind of jump in on that? Eric?
What the question was, I thought was like, who are dealing with, who we're working with, and
Go ahead, Eric.
I always pay attention. I'm like, 'cause different people expect different things, and some people can be very serious, some people can be very playful. So I watch and I feel them out, and I'm like, okay, this is what this person expects. Again, communication is key. You have to communicate. You have to know what's going on at all times. And another thing I like to say is early is on time is late, and late is unacceptable. So I always like to be early. I like to be prepared. I like to know not only my lines, but the other people's lines. I want to run lines with people and help them out as much as possible, and just have a good time. If we're not having a good time, then what's the point?
Okay. Got you. Miss Genesis? Miss Genesis, you're frozen.
With me, it's like I kind of go in. I'm still froze.
We can hear you though.
Hold on. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
What about now?
Yes.
Am I froze now?
No.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I usually, if I know the role, I usually go in as the character, and I don't accept no for an answer, because if I know the role was written for me, it's mine, and I'm taking it. So if I don't get the role, it's a reason usually. And like I said, if you don't get that role, they will always call you back to do another one. That's why your approach, personality, your wisdom, and how you exit will determine if you will get a call back for another role. A lot of people can have the role and be perfect for the role because their attitude sucks. And like I said, I've been blessed where, and I'm the type of person, y'all, I'll be like, if I don't get the role, I'll be like, you need me to carry the boom. What do you need? So I can incorporate myself with helping, because even if you help, you'll learn so much. And you'll gain rather than losing and not having any affiliation with any project. A lot of people are lazy. They don't want to, like, I'm not the help. I'm not going to go do that. Honey, I'll get your lunch. I'll get your coffee. What do we need to do? Let's get this done. If you don't have that attitude, when you do a project, you might need somebody to step in and do that, and nobody help you, and then you'll be running like a chicken with your head cut off and not getting anything done. It take a village to raise a child. A production is a baby. Miss Tone project is her baby. If she needs this done, we're gonna all pitch in to get it done so it can, go to the next level. If it's a missing piece or a void where somebody can step in where you're not doing anything, that should be any project, whether it's corporate, film, athletes, whatever. It should be any project. And if you have that approach and mentality, everything will work out in the end with love, peace, and harmony versus chaos on the set. No, everything should be smooth running all the time. It should be in a place where you have so many people to fill a position, but if that one person don't show up, it's another person that could just step in and it wouldn't miss a beat. You won't even know that they weren't there. That's how any production should run.
That's why I always have backup plan when somebody don't work out.
There you go.
Anybody else want to add?
And it always works. Always.
I was part of a plan. Hey, I was blessed with that. Hey, I was like, you need me to be where? Oh yeah, I'll be there.
That's right. You were on one project, weren't you? Okay, that's
right.
Yeah, and it turned out that the role was perfect for you. You were actually supposed to be that guy.
It really was.
Yeah. All right. Let's had another question. I got several questions, and I know, Kim, you don't have a lot of time with us, so I just want to make sure that we got some of these good questions in while you are on here. Your preparation. What steps do you take that you can share for those actors that'll be watching this? Your preparation for the role and your preparation for working on set, making sure you're there doing what you need to do to make sure that project gets completed.
What I do, I always get the script. I do my own little script analysis. I have notes all over, scribbled everywhere. And then once I do that, I also call or email the writer or either whoever is casting, because I want to get a good idea. I want to make sure I'm going in the right direction. Because we can have our own interpretation on something, but sometimes we need clarity, and if you do, you need to ask those questions. So after I do that script analysis, if there's a lot of verbiage to learn, a lot of lines to learn, I will stand in front of the mirror and I will record. It does me a lot of good when I'm standing in front of the mirror so I can see my facial expressions. And the way we're saying something, we're going to have certain facial expressions with the way we're saying it. So I can't just read it. I want to actually say, I want to have certain facial expressions with the way that I'm saying it. So, but I do record myself saying my lines. So if I'm stuck in traffic or if I'm just cleaning, whatever I'm doing, I can make sure that I'm listening to that over and over and over again. I also research if it's a police officer, a detective, a maid, whatever it may be, secretary. I do a lot of YouTube. I may pull up certain scenes that have some other actors or actresses in it that have played certain roles. And so I do those things to prepare me for whatever role I'm going in for. Oh, and I also get coaching. And like I said, you can never educate yourself enough. I have an acting coach that I love dearly. He gives me that tough love. So, I mean, he's made me better. I look at where I came from, and then I can look at some old auditions, and I look at the ones I have now. They're like night and day. I was like, who was that person? Those are some of the things that I do to prepare for roles. Sometimes I just like coach them. you need to lose a couple of pounds, you know. I look at my appearance, I look at everything in order to prepare.
Woo, let's not talk about that.
Girl, this Corona wave, girl. I was like, good thing they pushing back some of this illness together because I ain't ready.
Okay.
I know, right?
Who wants to go next from that perspective? Then I'll jump in all at one time.
Eric, you want to go next? Or you want me to talk?
Sure.
Well, when I'm prepping for a role, it depends on what you talking. Who talking? Hold on.
No, you're going, baby. It's all you.
I got a delay.
Go ahead.
You want me? Okay, thank you. Okay, when I'm prepping for a role, as soon as I get the script, I read it. Then I put it away and I go on about my business. And then I get into a zone where I go over the script. I usually, if I have a relationship or a rapport with the director or the writer, I'll ask, what are you looking for and what do you need from me? Because my objective is to give you everything you need for this role to come to life. And they tell me, okay, now I got the two combinations. And then I go back into my I guess my little room or whatever, wherever I am. I rehearse, I go over it, and I leave it alone. And every now and again, I kind of implant it back in my subconscious and my psyche so I can know, okay, this is the role I'm playing, and this is how I should act. And every now and again, if I'm in public, if it's a certain voice or character, you know, I play with people a lot. I'll do the voice, you know, or I'll do a personality or persona, if you will, and see if it's believable. And if it's believable in everyday life, I'm gonna nail it on film. And once I get on set, like whether I got the script literally that day, a month before, or 2 years before, once I arrive on set, I refresh. And before I arrive, I don't even touch the script, because I know it. And when you don't want to jinx yourself into doing it verbatim, because like Tone Cole, like what she do, she just like say what I know. I have this right here. I know you know the script, but let's work together. Let's bring it to life. What do you think? And when a director and writer is able to do that, you create something so beautiful that you never thought you can make come to life. And it allows you to have more range with the character versus it's just one way. It's just on paper. We're just doing it this way. No, you can play with it. And sometimes you can do a character that you never thought you were going to do. And you did all that work and rehearsing, and you say something like, no, say that again. And now that's the character. So it can go so many ways when you're building a character, a role, or a persona. But once you get what the director actually wants and it's believable, then that's when you know you've done your job. So that's how I prepare.
Awesome. Eric?
Repetition is the mother of all skill. I read that script first. I get the story in my head. I feel it out.
Yes.
And I put it down. And I'm like, wow, what was that really about? I feel my character. Get into a backstory. Then I read the whole script. And then I listen to it over and over and over. And I start saying my lines. And I'll say my lines to my mom. I'll say my lines in the gym. I'll say my lines in Walmart. And over and over. 1,000 different ways. I don't know how they're going to come out. It's going to depend on who I'm working with. In that moment, that organic moment in time, how my line is delivered based on them. And we're both back and forth. So I have infinite different possibilities that are going to come out. And when we're working together and the director's like, ooh, I like that, then we can use that. And then I just over and over and over. I mean, I'll be doing dishes, saying my lines. I'll be doing laundry. I'll be playing basketball, saying my lines. I never know how it's going to come out. That was nice. Or, that was it. But you got to find out. You got to try 1,000 different ways.
Well, I know I remember when I first auditioned with you. I was actually pretty amazed to your style to audition, because I do majority for past couple of years. I had been already been doing all my audition via digital, one-on-one online, because it gives you a little more personal communication with the actor, where you really get to know who you're going to be dealing with. But it also gives me the opportunity to see what their first experience, their first presentation is going to be to me. You know, and your first presentation was so awesome. You just stayed on my mind that I can't wait for us to do our project together, working together, Eric. Because Eric, he had his background ready. He did a dual role with me, and he literally changed himself side to side, playing both characters, a male role and a female role, and he coincided to make them work together when he actually could have done a split role. And if you watch any of my projects, I always have a dual role in there somewhere, because I love to see that multi-work of an actor. It's amazing when they can be two characters in the same project. I love it. So that's what impressed me so much about you, the way you did your audition for me. Then now this leads to the next question, being mindful of your style as an actor, because, you know, we have our lives we live, but we have these characters we audition for that we want to play. So one of the things that I know that's been challenging when I'm trying to cast specific characters is tattoos, piercing, and the style of the person. How do you deal with yourself as far as wanting a role and you got a tattoo or you got piercing, or you have a unique style about yourself? What do you do to work on your transition to try to take that role on, or to get that role, get chosen for that role? Eric, go for it.
Can I answer that first?
Oh, okay. Well, yes.
Okay, you guys, as I said, thank you. I've been a celebrity hairstylist, makeup artist, and, you know, style, image consultant, style development person for over 20 plus years now. And the thing about that, by me acting as well, I don't have any tattoos, and I only have the piercings I had from when my mother got them when I was a baby. And the thing about that is, when you know what you want to do, it's kind of like taking a sacrifice and being obedient at the same time. If you know you want to do something, you got certain roles you're not going to be able to play if you got tattoos and stuff everywhere. But now, 21st century, we've been blessed with two things, you guys: makeup and Photoshop. It has and weave. Let's go with weave. We've been blessed with the weave now. So if they and wigs, the frontals, the units have saved a lot of people's lives. So say for instance, I want to make Eric look like an older man. I'm gonna use a old type of unit on him, hold his hair down, and he's gonna look like an old man, and we're gonna use cosmetic makeup. Michael Jackson and Eddie Murphy mastered the art of changing even your race, changing your dialect. And if you have the gift of that, you should be good. But as far as those things go, tattoos, it's since we have makeup, it's not that much of an issue now, because they can be covered up in the Photoshop on top of that. But this is the catch. It has to be, you have to be in high demand as an actor and actress, and the budget has to be ignorant, explicit. Because if you have a big budget, you can pay for all that. But if you don't, limit your roles, especially when you're doing indie films, because films are usually out of pocket, and it's like, if you really want to play the role, you're gonna have to come out of pocket to make it go away. So that's where I stand when it comes to certain roles and image and whatnot. When it comes to weight, you can drop the weight if you can lose the weight. If you need to gain the weight and you can't gain it, now they got all these body packs and stuff. Like, shout out to the LGBTQ LMNOP community. You can get fake breasts, fake hips, fake boobs if the character needs to be a little thicker. Like, you got Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy with the Big Mama House, and the Nutty Professor, where you can put the fat suits on. You can achieve almost anything that's believable as long as you can pull it off with your accent, your dialect, your monologue, whatever you're given. If you can do that, then you are by far a great character actor. But if you cannot, you just don't need to be playing a role. I'm just gonna say it like that. All right.
Okay. Next.
Oh, I do have a tattoo. We have covered it up before, but I've limited myself. I wanted to get other tattoos, and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. So on projects, I have covered this, and that is possible. Makeup is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it's not that big. It's not that hard to cover this up. But getting more, I was like, nah, I'm not gonna get more. If I do rise up, you know, and the budget's there, then I could get the tattoos. But right now, I'm just like, no, I'm gonna stay there. If they need to cover this up, they cover it up. If they let it go, they let it go. And that's where I'm at right now.
Kim?
Because it's amazing what they can do with all the makeup, the fat suits, like she was saying.
That's true.
You look like an older man. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Kim, you want to add on that?
So, I'm gonna just piggyback on Jennifer's a little bit. We, like, as far as me, you know, I was in a workshop that Raven Drummer was giving, and my question to her, if you don't know who Raven Drummer is, that's Tyler Perry's casting director. But my question for her was, in audition, or if I'm doing self-tape or audition, and I know it's a role with, you know, it may be a role with somebody with long, straight hair, whatever. Should I dress that role or look like that role? What they're asking. She said, if they give a description of that, then yes. But if not, you come in looking just like your headshot. So, but my question was for her, would somebody like me, is my blonde hair keeping me from getting certain roles? And her question was no. Kimberly, that color hair looks good on you. She was like, we want you to be you. She said, trust me. We just want you to deliver the character. If we want you to look some type of way, we will make you look some type of way.
That's right.
So the biggest thing is, if you're able to go in and deliver, they can make you look however they want you to. So don't let you being you keep you from, you know, auditioning for something that you know you should have. If you have that certain charisma about you, or you know that role was written for you, don't let hair, you know, keep you from getting that. You know, you don't have to go in having all this long flowy hair. Or, you know, I mean, one great thing about the wigs and things, I wear so many wigs, it's ridiculous. I love them because I can change up the way I look anytime I want to. And that's one thing, that's one reason why I love to be an actress, because, hey, I can do who I want to be. But, just, you know, that's one of my things, you know. Because of hair and makeup,
that is true.
Like you were saying, we can, you know, we can glam it up, we can tone it all the way down. So, I mean, a homeless person can go in there with some raggedy hair if you want, or you can go in there all glammed up and dolled up. So, you know, just don't let hair and makeup keep you from being who you want to be.
Okay, and I'll share that on the perspective of a filmmaker. Two things. One, like Kim said, you can be changed. We got makeup to darken your skin, lighten your skin, whatever that needs to be done. I had a guy that we did a project with. We got a wig. We cut it down short. We put gray hair in it. We made him into like a crazy looking homeless man. His name was Mark Henry Lazar, and I mean he's really a magnificent actor. And his transition, he actually ended up playing three different roles in the same movie because he was that flexible and he was willing to make those type of adjustments. And I so enjoyed working with him because he was that flexible and he was able to do those looks. Because when he became the homeless man, I didn't even know who he was when he walked in. I was like, wait a minute. He even took the makeup and aged his skin so that he would look like an older man that was like broken down. So the options are out there available. I'm just going to put out there, just keep in mind when you're looking to do the character role, one, know you can play the role. And then two, be willing to invest in yourself to become that role. Because you might be working with a filmmaker that may not have that ideal how to position you, but if you come ready, they're going to fall in love with you and you're going to make their project better. The second thing is, don't worry about whether you're right for the role or not. Just be your authentic self. Because I know me personally, I have had actors that came in to play another role, but I ended up changing the role to match them because I like them. I like their personality. I like their character. I like what they would bring into my project as a person. So I actually went in and totally rewritten the script, not the whole script, but rewritten the character to fit the personality of that person. So, because I remember when I first saw Genesis, you know, seeing Genesis in the picture, you don't know what you're getting when you get her in real life. But when that woman walked in that room, I went to her and look, I'm just like 5'3". I'm 5'3", guys. Genesis is like 6 foot. And when she walked in that room, I was like, oh my God. But when I went up to her and I just looked up like that. And I was like, you are beautiful. You are perfect. And I mean, I fell in love with her in that moment because her energy was magnificent. She was in tune with herself. And I loved that she loved herself as she was. She wasn't trying to come to be anything else. And that's what I mean about being authentic. Your actors to act a role, but still be your authentic self, because who knows, we might like you better for the character than the character we actually written. I just had to throw that in there.
That's right. She carried herself like a queen. I was like, yeah, this is a queen right here. Okay, I was like, wow, I said, this is gorgeous.
Okay. Now, I want Eric. Did you want to add anything more on that?
What are you talking about, me?
Yeah, I'm talking about
what are you talking about?
Talking about you,
Eric.
Well, girl, I agree with you there because a lot of times you don't see what other people.
I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Hold that.
I'm sorry, Eric. I gotta run.
Okay, that's fine.
I do have to run.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here, Kim. I appreciate you so much. I'll see you on this Tuesday.
I will see you.
It was a pleasure, Kim. Nice meeting you.
All right, I love you all. Very nice to meet you, Eric.
Bye.
Bye, mommy.
All right.
Love you back, Kimmy.
Okay. All right. So okay, go ahead, Eric, into what you were going to be saying on your part.
Oh, I agree with you there. You can go in and read for a part, and you don't see what other people are seeing. And when you are behind that, and you're like, oh my gosh, I know you came in to read for this part, but you are actually perfect for this part. So will you read for this? And when your attitude is great, and you're like, yeah, man, throw that at me. Let's do it. And you know, I see that happen all the time.
That's great. Let's talk about some behind the scenes on set ethics. Because you get these characters, you get these projects, your own set. talk about what's important to you as an actor, and when you answer it, think of it in a broad spectrum of there's actors watching this, watching you, trying to learn from you as we do this. Share your perspective of, when you get the role and you come and you're working for that film producer, trying to bring this project to life. Talk about your perspective on your expectations, what you think you should be able to expect, and just making sure that you keep the set smooth so we can finish those scenes and keeping the right relationship flowing with the director as you complete the project. Who goes jump in first?
I'll go.
Okay.
You want to be as prepared as possible and expect the unexpected, because a lot of times you're going to have to change up at the last minute, and that adaptability is key. Like, I've had people not be able to show up, and I've had to take on 2 lines, and it was no problem because I was prepared. I knew it beforehand, and when they threw that at me, I hit it out of the park. They're like, "Wow, we should have thrown it like that in the beginning." But be prepared for things to happen, and be willing to adapt and change at the last minute. Don't be holding so tight to this that it has to go this way. Be flexible for whatever happens, because invariably they're going to come your way. Right? You adapt to them. Sometimes hidden treasure.
That's good. That's good. Genesis?
Time. Everybody, time and time. You can be on set from 5 a.m. in the morning to the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning. And it could be like, we've been here for over 24 hours and they still haven't got their lines. Well, you have to be prepared, and patience is a virtue. Location, depending on where you're filming, like you might have to wait to the sun hits a certain angle, or the lighting needs to be changed or whatever. So you have to be patient and wait. So say 2 lines, you'll be waiting 8 hours. And if you're not willing to be patient and wait, this is not the profession for you. Patience is a virtue. And also stage etiquette, craft service etiquette. It's one of those things where you have so many people who think they know, what goes on, but once they get on set, they're like, okay, this is how it works. And you have to adjust and adapt and be taught. And like I said, time is the biggest thing. If you're not willing to wait to be filmed for your line role or for the shot to be perfect, this is not the profession for you. Because you can shoot one scene for 3 days, if not a week, until the director feels they have what they want. Because if they don't have what they want, we're going to shoot it over and over. And sometimes it won't be you. It'll be the other actor or actress who has to get into character. They need this particular shot. So they have to bring it every time. If you're not willing to do that, you should try another profession. Yep.
Okay. Let's have a little fun now. Who is your dream actor or actress you like to perform with?
My dream actor or actress? Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors of all time. I fell in love with him in Big, and I would love to work with him. And then Margot Robbie, she's just hot. I have a huge crush on her.
Okay. Genesis? Go ahead, I'm listening.
I have you.
Huh?
I definitely want to work with the. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I definitely want to work with Debbie Allen. Ever since I was little, I've been wanting to work with Debbie Allen my whole life. Somebody go get her. I love her. Jada Pinkett Smith, like she's one of my favorite actresses. I've studied her like since I was a little girl. I was like, I want to be like her when I grow up. Who else? Taraji P. Henson. She is like just amazing. My other two, I'll say, the other
three, I'll say Vivica A. I still work with her. Miss Jennifer Lewis. She's from St. Louis. Shout out to Miss Mother Lewis. She gave me a shout out. She's amazing to me. And Denzel Washington. Those are like my key players. Oh, and Samuel Jackson. If I could work with those people, like I book a list for actresses and actors, like I know how to make it.
Awesome. What do you do when you need motivation or feel discouraged to make this more enjoyable for you? How do you snap back?
Music.
Snap back into character,
when you're feeling discouraged and you need motivation, how do you snap back?
Music is key. You know, a lot of songs.
I pray.
Okay. Eric, we're gonna start with Eric.
I can't hear you, Eric.
Go ahead, Eric.
A lot of times, music, certain songs will put me in a certain state and change my perception on things, lift me up. Another thing is YouTube, motivational. Like, I like Les Brown. When Les Brown is speaking, he's the hungry man. He's going to bring me back up. I know he's been down here and he's gotten out of it. So whatever I'm going through, I know it's not going to last, and I'm going to pull myself out of it. And, you know, focus is everything. What I focus on is playing band, so I need to focus on what's working out and feeling good. And the ultimate thing is feel good. When you focus on feeling good, you're going to start feeling better. And just laugh and be silly. Sometimes you just go laughing.
Is there a project you considered a favorite and why?
Favorite project. I really liked one of my last projects with director Jerome Anthony Larkin, The Eccentric World of Baron Styles. It was really fun to shoot, and final product was really good. When I went to the premiere, I really liked what we put together, because we all worked hard on it. You know, we had to adapt to big changes, and it came out wonderful.
I do select. Genesis, did you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I like when I get in funk, as people say, I would listen to motivational music or motivational speakers. But for the most part, I pray. I go into prayer and meditation, and it calms me down, and it just centers me back and get me back in balance to let me know why I'm here and what I'm doing this for. A lot of people don't realize once you're balanced and you're centered, you're able to climb that hump and get to that place where you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? I express energy. You have to get back. What did I eat? Who did I speak to before I got here? What did I do? What put me in this funk? When you get to the root of the issue, that's when you're able to climb out, and then you're able to have a solution. If you're around people who bring that negative energy, you need to get rid of them. Nobody's exempt. Because if you have a goal and you're trying to focus on acting or music or doing something that's going to better your life, better the world, the universe, if you will, and these people are bringing negative energy, you gotta release them and rid your space. And once you do that, you're able to climb out as movie Get Out say the sunken place, and you're able to get into a new zone and feel better. And you'll notice it happen within a split second. It's so fast. Like, I was just sad, but I talk to them. Okay, every time I talk to them, I get pissed off. Let me stop talking to them and see what happened. Okay, God, that's what's wrong. It's not you, it's them. And you start realizing that you're able to maneuver, and everybody's not going to tell you the truth. But those things that hinder people, and it's also people who are envious and jealous the fact that we're living our best lives doing what we have to do, and that's being actors, musicians, playwrights, all that, and they're still where they work, and they're upset because they didn't step out on faith, trust their faith, walking their path, and they're blaming us for being obedient, doing what the Most High called us to do. That's not our problem. So once you get to that space, like, this is up to me to control my habits. I can't change you, but I can change myself. So I'm going to remove myself from this toxic energy, and I'm going to move forward into the Lord and do what the Most High called me to do. And when you do that, that's when all the blessings come. And you don't have to worry about it because you're centered, you're balanced, and your energy is smooth. Your diet is important because you can even eat foods that take out energy and element. That's why it's important to have a good, healthy diet, drink a lot of water, and speak right into the water. Don't speak or listen to negative energy and drink that water. It's gonna affect your body. I'm on my turn tower now. I'm into the physical, astronomical, astrology, all that stuff. And that stuff is real along with the Most High. You combine it together, you guys, and I say it takes you to an ethereal plane that you have no idea exists. It's something out of this world, but it will keep you balanced and focused. As long as you're doing what you were called to do on this planet, you will be living your best life. And you won't even have to worry about that because you'll be able to catch it immediately. Like, that threw me off. Okay, let me stop that. Let me get back on course and get back on the path and speak life instead of death. Speak positive energy. And it'll shift in the energy. You'll feel it. You will feel it and you will know. And if you're in a character and you need that energy, you might want to call somebody that's going to get you up to get you in that role.
Okay, that's good. That's good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about promoting your film project, your reel. How important is it for you to have your reel for you? I've had a lot of actors communicate to me that I've done reels for actors, and I spend the time to put the reels together for them, but I don't see them using them at all. So what I know what's important for me when I'm auditioning you for a reel, but what's important to you to why you feel you need the reel? Because I've noticed that a lot of actors want the reels, but they don't use the reels. They don't promote themselves through the reels of the work that they've done. So share a little bit about the value of the reel and what does it do to help you for your career? I know my perspective, but what does it do for you?
For with the reel, it basically shows your work. It shows how you can flip characters and your professionalism. A lot of actors, and this is what, like I've said, there a lot of actors are trained. This is something they want to do, so they don't have the power of the reel. We have IMDb, which broadcasts our work, so other directors, writers, other actors, if you will, can see our work, and that pretty much is your free promotion without the person having to watch the entire film. Especially if you only have a few lines or less, they can see that you've been active, you've been productive. You're acting now, and this is what you're capable of doing from a multi-dimensional perspective, if you will. And once they can see that, then it's like, okay, well, let me see what they can do for me. Let me do an audition for them. I like this. If they can bring this, okay, I want to put them in my film. It's almost like a free audition. You know what I mean? And if you did a great job, you don't have to worry about it. You're good. But everybody don't have the wisdom on how to promote themselves. That's why, like back then, and I'm gonna say back then because it was more agents. It wasn't social media, and the agents had to get you to the directors, and you really couldn't meet anybody. It wasn't email. Like, we were doing things on foot. You know what I'm saying? This is how long I've been doing it, and now it's like it's kind of like it's no excuse. You're out here. If you're gonna win, you're gonna win. you know. And if you're not, well, you have all the elements and the opportunity to do it, from putting it on your website, from putting it on YouTube, Facebook, all these marketing tools, where Instagram, all these marketing tools where you can elevate your career. Somebody's gonna see you. So it's like, why not put it out there? You know, I'm speaking to myself too as I say this, because I'm a very private person. So it's like, you know, you got to put this stuff out there, and if you know you got what it takes, you have to make it up. You know what I mean?
Eric?
Your reel is an asset, and you have to know how to use that asset. That asset is going to show that you have been on film. It's going to show your range. It's going to show what you're capable of. And a lot of times they'll ask to see the reel before you even audition, because they want to see what you're capable of. If you're not showing good stuff in the reel, they're like, all right, next, I want to see the next person. And then, you know, you keep updating it, because you're going to keep getting better. I know I look back like 5 years, and I look today, I'm like, wow, how much I have grown is incredible. And another thing is training never ends. Keep training, guys. Keep at it. You're always going to learn. You're always going to grow. You're always going to fall down, get back up, dust yourself off, learn some new stuff, and look back 3 years, 5 years. Look where you've come, because a lot of times you don't even realize it until you look back at the old stuff. And you're like, wow, how much have I improved? Because we're always expanding into the limitless.
All right. Well, let's take that a little step further. Talk about the as the actor's perspective, as far as deciding on what kind of training you're to get, what kind of classes are you to take to get you prepared for a role, or just to keep you fine-tuned to your art.
There is a lot of acting training out there, and everyone is different. You gotta see what works for you, try different things, see what pulls you in, and see what works for you. What works for me might not work for you, but I know I develop a relationship with my acting coach. You know, he's brutally honest. He's going to tell me that was garbage. Go home and work on it. I will go home and work on it for weeks, sometimes months, until I get that aha moment. I'm like, oh my God, why did this take me months to get that? But sometimes that's the work you have to put in to get over here. So I suggest try a bunch of people out, see what works for you, see if you're improving, see if it's actually adding value to you.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the acting method. How do you determine what your acting method is? Because I've heard there's different types of methods that a lot of actors say that they are, and then there's different kinds that I say that I like to work with. Because I like diversity, you know. I don't want to. I personally don't look for no specific type of method from an actor. Just how you deliver that character. But how do you decide on, you know, what method of acting you're going to use or want to study for your performance?
There's a lot of different methods out there. Again, you have to feel what's good for you. My training method is the Uda Hobbing technique. I mean, you're not going to be just one character. You're open to the limitless characters out there. And I believe that, you know, every person, you can learn from each technique and bring that to your basket, your toolbox, and put that out there. So I don't think any one technique is going to be like the golden, you know, this is it. Put them all together and see what works for you.
Okay, Genesis.
I just think every role is different, you know, like, and it depends on the role you're playing, what you're studying. Like, if you've never had any experience, let's take I have to stress theater and film, cinema. Like, it's two different things, and theaters, two different things. I like to study actors, and I like to study films that have already been done to see what works, you know, what people are looking for. And with Denzel Washington made a statement about the audition, and he was saying that the guy, he was doing theater, and he was like, the guy was like, I have this cup is in my hand, and it's in my cup, and you all can see this cup. And he was looking at him like, I look like that, you know? And when he got it, he just looked at the cup, you know, his cold blooded, you know, did his thing. But he didn't get the job because he was acting for film, and the other guy was acting for theater. And with theater, you have to know how to use your vocal cords from your diaphragm and be able to project, because 9 times out of 10, like, it's not going to be any microphones. The microphone is like something with I think it was, you know, but you say protect your voice pretty loud, and people can hear you back here. It's like they're not gonna, you know, it's not gonna be effective. And you know, it's a film. So, like I said, with the and all that, I'm not. I just talk about what character do you need for me? Do you need an actor? Like I'm from the country, you know, or you know, somebody from the hood, like you get them, or you need a professional corporate. You know, you got to get into the person. What are you looking for? That's what I do. And when you do that, that makes you more of a diverse character actor. Instead of saying it's only one way, but I do it this way, and something way to do it, and then somebody gets wrong, like I should try this way, looking like a you just have to be yourself. What do you need? Do I need acting classes? If so, I need acting classes to make me better. Or I need acting this night and direct I'm gonna win. Because if you don't have any, you know, experience, the acting coach will be beneficial for you. Don't get me wrong. But if you have had experience, it's nothing wrong with updating, taking acting classes. But some people just have it. When you have it, automatically.
Okay. Well, okay. So we're going to wrap this up, and I want you to do this. Somebody's got some heavy static in their phone or in their connection.
It might be.
Okay. Because some of that came in okay, and some of that did not come in on yours, Genesis. But I want you to leave the actor that's watching this. I want you to give them your love, more or less. You know, what do you love about this industry? What do you love about acting? What can you leave that actor watching this with to inspire them to know they've made the right choice for themselves to be a part of an industry like filmmaking and acting? Okay, I can't tell whose line is that is. So, Eric, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine, yes.
Okay, you go ahead and answer that question. I think Genesis' line is not clear right now.
Yeah, I'm getting a little fuzzies.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I didn't know that's what that was. Yeah, it's going kind of in and out on my end too.
Yeah. What's the question again?
Okay. All right, and speak louder into it so that way they make sure they hear this one, because I want to leave them with something really good. And the question is, talk to the actor that's watching this and tell them, you know, what words can you use to encourage them, to have them believe in themselves, to have the confidence to move forward in this industry, to let them know just about the dream of being an actor, that they made the right choice. And if there's some tidbits that you can share on how to survive in this industry, that'd be great.
Absolutely. You have to believe in yourself 100%. If it's written on your heart, believe that and don't let it go no matter what. Continue to train. Keep working on yourself, improving yourself, believing in yourself. And I love helping other people, because by me helping them, I actually help myself. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, when you're helping someone else, you're actually helping yourself. and we're all in this together. If you ever need any help, I will be there for you. I'm the guy. I'll help you out. I love helping people. It's fun. You know, there's plenty of room at the top. Keep your head up. No matter what happens, you know, there's always going to be another opportunity. Always. There's always another wave coming. You can catch the next wave. It's going to be okay. You're going to get knocked down by some of these big waves that come in here. And you're like, oh my God, it's over. I'm never going to do this again. I sucked. Next. You're fine. You didn't die. You know, it's just words on paper. Relax. You know? Have fun with it. You'll be okay.
Thank you, Eric. Genesis? What would you like
To the person that's watching this, can you hear me?
You're
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
a little fuzzy.
you're a little staticky.
Can
Can
you
you
hear me?
speak up a little bit louder? And
Oh no, can you hear me?
I can't.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Yeah, speak
Can
a
you
little
hear
louder.
me?
Yes.
Is that better?
Angle your
Awesome.
phone
Okay.
so that we can hear you more clear.
I'm trying to. Can you hear me? Y'all hear me? I'm trying to.
I can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me clear? You guys?
Yes.
Yes. No.
It's
Yes.
still a little static.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
So,
Yeah, I don't know
it's
what that is.
staticky. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do better on the next one. Okay. All right. So, This is my advice to the young person or anybody from any age that wants to do this. Rule number one: trust the Most High. Because if you wake up, dream, sleep, eat, and breathe this, and you feel like you're supposed to do this, maybe you're supposed to be doing this. That's one. Two, once you get into it, don't get discouraged and don't give up. You have to continue it until you get that role. Some people, it happens overnight. Some people, it may take some years.
Yeah.
Samuel L. didn't become a superstar. He was in his 40s, and he's most blockbusters films outside of Tom Cruise. So that should tell you something. He's in Star Wars, for God's sake. So you have to trust, no matter how old you are, if you're supposed to do this, do it. Don't get discouraged on how you look, because you can always adjust your body size, whether big, small, or whatever. It's always a role for you. You have to trust that if I do this, no matter what, I'm coming in here, it's a role for me to be played, and I'm here to do it. And you have to do it with the intent knowing why. Because these roles that we're playing, they're so powerful where it can impact your life or someone else's life. So never compromise your integrity, and always take a role that's suitable, where you know that if I do this, I can look back 20 years and I can be content with it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, don't laugh. One of my favorite movies is Babs. Halle Berry, for some reason, hate that movie. But the thing about Babs, for me, it was a great movie for me, and it impacted my life, especially being a hairstylist and an extravagant, luxurious hairstylist with the Charles of Beverly Hills, you know. So it's like I actually think with about, and thank Halle Berry for that. But she's like, oh my God, I wish I would have never did it. But it was a phenomenal role. So make sure when you do a role, you can look back 20 years and be like, I did that. If you be like, I didn't do that, don't do the role.
It's okay to say no too. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
never compromise your integrity, guys.
okay. All right. Well, I'm going to end it with this. Actors, whether you're a male or female, take precaution to keep yourself practical and safe. When you're doing your auditions, do your auditions in a way that is safe for you. Don't just do an audition just to say I'm auditioning. You want to make sure that your audition is held in a place where you know you can feel safe. If it's a one-on-one, take one with you. You never do one-on-one by yourself with a male or a female. It doesn't matter. You want to always make sure you keep yourself safe in your auditioning. So if you're going to an audition you're going by yourself and not a big audition, take a friend. That friend can sit on the sidelines, or better yet, if they can't come in, at least they're out there waiting on you, knowing that you need to be coming out that door. And keep your phone on and keep it on mute. But you want to make sure that if you have an emergency situation and you need to get out of there, you got that phone in your pocket where you can at least hit 911. There's things that goes on out there that you just need to be mindful of. You know, be excited, be ready to audition, but think with wisdom and keep yourself safe, especially now with this COVID. Things are being done so much differently. You just got to make sure that you proceed doing everything in the manner of safety for you as well as those around you. You guys, thank you for being on this project this Sunday on the actor's perspective and sharing your wisdom, your knowledge. I'm definitely going to do some editing because some of the static was kind of bad in it, but I'll do my best to kind of clean it up so that way the knowledge can be put out there. Because there's a lot of actors out there ready to run with the thing, and they need to know both sides. And I thank you for sharing yours. God bless you guys. Have a fantastic day, and thank you all for tuning in. See you next Sunday at 4 o'clock. Next Sunday, we're going to have casting directors on here, talking about casting directors versus casting actors. The do's, the don'ts, how to audition properly for the mainstream versus independent filming. This one, I've actually sat and talked to these casting directors already. This one's going to be a lot of juice for you. So you do definitely want to make sure you tune in on this one, because this is going to help you know what to do, what to expect, what boundaries are necessary to required for you to be able to move from independent into the mainstream as an actor. So guys, thank you for joining me on this. Have a great day. Thank you, Genesis. And thank you, Eric, for coming on.
I believe in you.
Thank you. Shout out to Chosen Legacy, my baby and the fam. Love y'all. Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.